Welcome, everybody, to a very special weekend. The last weekend, the AT&T Champ Car World Series heads to the streets of Toronto. A very special moment, a very special occasion. 30 cars, 2 races this weekend, one today here on Saturday, one on Sunday tomorrow, to wrap up a chapter of Champ Car history, of World Championship history in Toronto. Exhibition Place and ABN Sports welcomes you to race 13 of the AT&T Champ Car World Series and the IndyCar World Championship, all season long coverage here on ABN Sports as we bring you flag-to-flag coverage. It's another pole position for Sakura Ishibashi. Shouldn't be a surprise. But there are some prizes through the field to walk through. Alicia Kovalkiewicz will share the front row alongside Ishibashi. This race of critical importance to Kovalkiewicz. The last time we had a doubleheader here in Toronto, it was Kovalkiewicz that won both races. The last driver to sweep a doubleheader in the Champ Car World Series. Kovalkiewicz looking to do that again. Last time she did it was 2018. Kovalkiewicz looking to make something special happen. She's on the front row to try to make that happen. But it is stiff competition at the front of the field. In row 2 is Kuna Kinoshita, the World Championship leader, the defending world champion, alongside Thomas Roger, her main championship adversary. For Kinoshita, it has been more often than not victory lane that we've seen the 18 go into. But last time out in Pocono, not the case. Ended up only scoring 5 points, retired out of the race early, had a mechanical failure. Looking to avoid that repeat here this weekend. You don't want to have that repeat here this weekend. Obviously, very important to make sure that both races go as well as possible, and that's what Kinoshita's objective is here today. Row 3, Natalia Kurachenko and Nicole Lechty. Lechty won Pocono, really putting herself in that championship conversation. Lechty in third in points, 62 points adrift. Points at the bottom of your screen. They'll be scrolling throughout today's broadcast here in Toronto. Lechty in that range now with 8 races to go, including today. Natalia Vulicevic and Mia Vitsut, 2 rookies. Vulicevic right now in the Rookie of the Year conversation by a single point behind Artem Kozlov, but Vulicevic in a really good spot, qualified ahead of Kozlov there here for today's race. Vitsut, we know how special Vitsut has been. Podium on debut at Motegi, consistently one of the faster drivers in the field. Vitsut gets Champ Car racing in ways that I've not seen a lot of rookies ever get. We'll see how Vitsut can do here on a street course that has been notoriously chaotic and difficult to pass at. Siri Lundqvist returning in the 69 car in place of Juliet Takani. We'll see Takani again later in the season. Lundqvist in this car for a special moment. She'll share row 5, the top 10, with Wyatt Jones, who has developed more of his road and street course acumen, the 3-time NAMRA Cup Series champion, taking on a lot of different challenges in his first season in Champ Car World Series racing. And so far, I think he's passing pretty well in that regard. He's starting 10th. Evangeline Porter and Artem Kozlov in row 6. They make up the top 12. Behind them, it's Elise Alexander and Asada Kito in row 7. Row 8 is where you'll find Simona Leroux, the 2nd Red Bull Highlight Racing machine, alongside Andrew Draco, the former 2-time world champion in the series. Draco continuing to fill in for Shufan Zhang, who was injured at Motegi, and hopefully will be back very soon. 2-time Atlantic Series champion, Bianca Lucero, alongside the Canadian Formula 4 champion, and Kira Moore. Kira Moore racing on home soil. Very special weekend for her going into the streets of Toronto. Esther Hoffs and Matthias Michelin, they make up the top 20. Then it's Astor Crane for Good Smile Rosgrees alongside Kake Kobayashi and Vanter Racing. BK Glover, not a good performance there for the Panasonic Team Impulse driver. That team overall not where it wants to be, with 2 of its cars qualifying outside the top 10. Kamaya alongside of him in row 12. That's 23rd and 24th. 25th and 26th is made up by Marcus Petrovich and Keisha Fox. But the biggest surprise is in row 14. Anastasia Fonsonen in 27th. Mia Valdez, the
Drivers, start your engines.
The 2013 World Champions. I heard the command fire engines there. We're almost going green here. Formation lap will begin. Valdez qualified 28th, just ahead of Cameron Jackson and Rex Riley, the other Canadian driver in the field, starting 30th and dead last for today's race in Toronto. It's all to play for, though. 8 races to go in the championship. So much at stake. It's going to be a very special occasion here this afternoon. Again, 2 races, 1 today, 1 tomorrow. Both those will be right here on ABN Sports as we get ready to go. Pressure cooker of a situation at the front of the field. Ishibashi still having to learn and grow in that cat level racing role. The team that she debuted with back in 2016. She's back in now, this time as a championship contender. That was the hope, that was the aim. So far, short of that goal. 6th place in points, though, not a bad effort. Crawling slowly but surely back into the top 5 there, having to get around a couple of the rookies that sit still a decent arm's length ahead. A good result here, though, could really flip the tides here in Toronto. Kovalkiewicz in the 96 car, looking to do something special. Something that only she's done in the last 5 years, and that's win a doubleheader. She's on the front row. Good chance to make that happen, but we know how chaotic Toronto races can be. Also, the rule, too, to think about. Is this race the calm race, or is it the frantic race? Alternate compound tires. They're quicker. They wear out more. Does that have something to play with? Typically, the answer to that is yes, but you never know on the streets of Exhibition Place. It's a packed crowd here in Toronto for the last weekend of Champ Car racing in Exhibition Place. Decades of memories, decades of action, and historic moments. Sakura Ishibashi leads the field to green. Once again, Alicia Kovalkiewicz, the Polish driver, alongside. Then it's Kenosha and Rogers, championship contenders in row 2. Green flag is in the air, and away we go. We are racing in Toronto. Good launch there by Ishibashi. Kovalkiewicz, a good enough launch to stay ahead of the championship leader as Rogers goes for 3rd. In trouble already. There is a track blocker there. Everyone trying to get through. That's Alexander turned around. That is one of the yellow cars. I believe that is possibly Vutsu that was upside down. Trouble further still. That's the NOS Energy number 69 of, I believe that is Lundqvist. Everyone's scrambling here. That's Kira Moore wounded. Several cars in pit lane. And yet we stay green. We stay green off the opening lap. You see the tire marks, the skid marks. Through turn 3. But we stay green with Ishibashi leading over Kovalkiewicz, over Rogers, over Kenosha. A frantic accident on the opening lap as we expected. But they're letting it stay green. Ishibashi leads over Kovalkiewicz. Then it's Rogers. And I believe Lechty's actually gotten through as well. Lechty has gotten through for 4th. The race winner at Pocono a couple weeks ago. Coming back with a vengeance here. 5 cars in pit lane. Looks like 6 cars in pit lane, but cars rolling once again. Wyatt Jones, one of those cars, going a lap down early. Lechty navigates the lap traffic easily. Kenosha checked up once again by it. Velisevich up to the 6th position. Porter up to 7th. Then it's Lucero, Leroux, and Hobson in the top 10. One car confirmed out of this race is Siri Lundqvist's 69 car. We saw it with that run-in with Shinichi Kamaya. Again, World Championship leader Kenosha in the top 5, but in 5th place, in behind the lap traffic of Wyatt Jones. Side-by-side racing teammates here, Porter and Velisevich. For Atomic Autosport, who's got the advantage here? Porter does. To the last couple of corners, Porter goes up a position, put that Porter in 6th over the Slovenian rookie Vlisovic in 7th. And then some more lap traffic it looks like there. I believe that is Mia Valdez back out on track, but off the lead lap. Valdez 1 lap down. Same with the car behind her. Actually, no, that is I believe, Simona Leroux, the 77, on the lead lap. So Simona Leroux stayed intact there. A little further back, there is Petrovic. Then there's Cameron Jackson, I believe. No, excuse me, that is Esther Hobson, then Cameron Jackson. So Jackson moved up from the last row of the field to just outside the top 10 in the 11th position, excuse me. So really good run so far. Moving through the field here. Obviously the chaos has played part of that for the opening lap. Then it's Von Sonnen, then it's Michelin. Cars out of this race, they are innumerable in the opening stanza. Kiro Moore, Andrew Draco, Asada Kito, Cyril Lundqvist all out of this race, as is Mia Vitsut and Natalia Kurachenko. Asher Crane is 2 laps down, but still currently on track at this point in time. Mia Valdez, Elise Alexander, and BK Glover also joining the retirement queue. As we see Michelin going after Von Sonnen. The 60 and the 76 side by side through the tightest part of the racetrack. Von Sonnen defends, but Michelin has the pace. That's Strecker Motorsports number 60 machine. Where is Michelin gonna be going? It was announced this weekend that Stephanie Porter Kelly, the 3-time world champion, would be returning and taking over that 60 ride. That puts a lot of question marks on that Strecker Motorsports lineup. Where is Michelin staying with that team? What about Kurachenko, who is currently out of a contract at the end of the year, and Elise Alexander? Does Alexander move to the Challenger Series, the 2nd division that is forming next year? A lot of questions that need to be answered. As you see more and more cars in this fray. Michelin struggling. There's Rex Riley, who's moved up spots as well. Further on down the order. Race leader, there you go. That's Sakura Ishibashi, already opening a 1.36 second advantage over Alicia Kovalkiewicz. Kovalkiewicz 2nd over Rogers, Lekti, and Kenosha. That's your top 5. Porter in 6th. Vlisovic 7th. Lucero, Leroux, and Petrovic, your top 10. Frantic race already. We've lost a third of the field. 20 cars left running, 1 a lap down, everyone else on the lead lap. Wyatt Jones 1 lap down, started 10th, down to 20th already. Not where he wanted to be in this race, but that is unfortunately the fact of the matter for the 3-time NAMRA Cup Series champion. Still a lot of time to make things happen though. Obviously a longer race here tonight, an 85 lap affair, both today and tomorrow here in Toronto. Ishibashi leads the way. 2 seconds now the gap. As we browse and peruse through the field, there is Kovalkiewicz in 2nd, staying equal distant, equal measure from Rogers and Lekti. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, battling for the podium places there early on. Pit stops expected to be frequent as tire wear and tire degradation. You see the different patches of racing surface, the asphalt and the concrete, varying back and forth. A lot of different features around this temporary street circuit that makes it so demanding, not only on driver, but on machine. And you're seeing that right now as you see this battle for 2nd rage on. All of it's behind the race leader of Ishibashi. Last lap for Ishibashi, a 54.342. Still running a little bit faster. Rogers the fastest of the top 4. By about a 10th. But tires, they will fall off dramatically. You see the alternate compound tires, very different from the primary tire we'll see tomorrow for Sunday's race. Kovalevich trying to stay in the front of this group, this 3-car cluster. Kenosha, the World Championship leader, in 5th. Stuck there behind Wyatt Jones. There's the 81 of Evangeline Porter. Close friends off the track. Right now, competitors on it, and pretty fierce competitors on it at that. Evangeline Porter, one of the longer winless droughts of drivers that have a race win. She last won in 2016 at the Lausitz Ring. 7-year winless drought for Porter. Obviously, Porter's not been in the series all of those 7 years. Spent some time in the NAMRA Cup Series. Now back full-time in the Champ Car World Series, adding to her resume as the lead driver for that Atomic Autosport team. Porter in 6th, ahead of Vulisevich, her rookie driver. Right behind her in 7th. Then it's Leroux, Lucero, and Petrovich, your top 10 as things currently run. Again, this is a battle for the top 5 between the 81 and the 18. Kenosha leads the way in that 18 car. The points leader and defending world champion. Still struggling with dirty air. Wyatt Jones, the only car a lap down, is able to still fight for his position right now as things currently run. Because the issue is that Esther Hofston is also wounded and in danger of going a lap down here. Hofston down in the 19th position, then Kobayashi and Keisha Fox. All 3 of those cars wounded from the lap 1 incident. Wyatt Jones came in and took repairs. The other 3 did not. Obviously 10 cars out of this race, so Wyatt Jones with something to fight for here. And obviously still fast enough at the moment to be a frustration for Kenosha, and likewise for Evangeline Porter. And you see just a little bit further back there is the 13 of Vulisevich closing back in on this battle for the top 5. And then Simona Leroux and Bianca Lucero. Again, the lap 1 incident took out 10 cars. It involved 14, but there was not a caution for it, interestingly enough. The track stayed green. It's allowed a very interesting race to break out here. As laps tick away, this battle for 5th place is continuing to rage on. We'll move forward just a little bit throughout the field here as Kovalevich continues to hold off and now pull away from Thomas Rogers. Kovalevich sitting in the 2nd position still at the moment, beginning to pull away as this battle rages on. Sort of browse and peruse. You see that actually we'll go back there. There is Esther Hofston. And just looking back, that's how close the race leader Ishibashi is to Hofston, to putting Hofston a lap down. Then there's Kaike Kobayashi still surviving, but that car is not 100%. You saw the front wing and some of the damage on that front wing. But Kobayashi is still rolling here in Toronto. And then a little bit further back, there's Keisha Fox dealing with Shinichi Kamaya, who we know for a fact was involved in one of the incidents on lap 1. Kamaya surviving though, sitting right now in the 16th position. Keisha Fox in 17th, Kobayashi and Hofston 18th and 19th, Wyatt Jones in 20th. Your bottom 5 still running at the moment. Again, ticker at the top of your screen. showing you where all 30 drivers are located position-wise. 10 of them already out. Their positions already determined in this race. Eye on this battle here. A lot of racing still to go in this race. As we browse and peruse our way through the field. Ahead of Shinichi Kamaya, there is... That's the 3 of Artyom Kozlov down in 15th. Not where they want to be in this race at all. Then there's Rex Riley. From 30th to 14th on the grid, up 16 spots. Biggest gainer of the race so far. Actually, I think that goes to Cameron Jackson, who's up even more spots. Cameron Jackson. Pull up on your screen. There he is. Jackson started this race in 29th, up to 11th. 18 spots gained in this race. That's your biggest gainer so far. Almost able to break into the top 10. Just has to try to catch up to Marcus Petrovich, and that's a 3-second gap he's got to catch up to. And there's Petrovich there in the top 10. 10th place right there for Petrovich, the Serbian driver looking to break through and to capitalize on the chaos we saw here on the opening lap. It's calmed down a little bit since. Bianca Lucero in the 88 machine, the Atlantic Championship driver, won 2 series titles in a row in the Atlantic Championship. Sitting in the 9th position, then Simona Leroux in 8th. On an island a little bit here. And then you have this battle just outside, really 5th, 6th, and 7th. Kenosha still trying to get around Wyatt Jones. But the pressure, Jones is withstanding all of it. Veteran instinct from Wyatt Jones in this race. Obviously, 3-time NAMRA Cup Series champion, used to the chaos. Just hoped he would not be in it from his starting position, being 10th on the grid. And looking at Porter and Kenosha, the 81 and the 18 in this race so far. Kenosha again staying in 5th. And we talk about how difficult this track is to pass at. It is a difficult track. It's narrow in some places. Obviously, you're looking at that straight going into what is now the tightest section of the track. This track has been notoriously difficult to pass throughout its history, not just in the recent era, but long-term and longevity-wise, this track's always been difficult, dating back all the way to the 90s. See, if you have to think about the different eras that this track has seen, as you see Kenosha going after Wyatt Jones in turns 1 and 2. But Jones defends once more, has that outside lane. Kenosha's got to be getting very frustrated with Wyatt Jones at the moment. Obviously, Kenosha, the reigning and defending IndyCar World Champion. But beyond that, a former Grand Prix World Champion over in Europe. Won the 2013 World title for Honda. Has been a Honda driver ever since. Jumped across in 2015 to take on Champ Car. There goes Wyatt Jones into pit lane. And finally, Kenosha can stretch her legs. Kenosha, front of the field. Then it's Porter. There's more traffic. That is the 28 Esther Hobson, who just came out of pit lane. Esther Hobson now under pressure once again. There goes Porter. Alongside Kenosha. This is for the top 5. Instead, Kenosha is able to get around Hobson, and now Porter will try to follow suit. Kenosha got ahead of Hobson. Importantly, Porter did not. Porter finally getting around, but lost a lot of time there. There is Simona Leroux, the 77 machine, that Red Bull for Highlight Racing, trying to get around the hard way and put some separation between herself and Bianca Lucero. And she does. There's Lucero, there's Von Sonnen. Von Sonnen going after position, trying to battle. That is with Hobson, who comes down pit lane. Von Sonnen came out of pit lane. So varying pit stop strategies in play. There is the 78 of Lechty. There's the 2 of Rogers, and the 96 of Kovalkiewicz. There's Wyatt Jones. And there is Sakura Ishibashi. Ishibashi, I believe, coming down pit lane this time. Yes, the race leader is in on lap 23. So Wyatt Jones gets one of his laps back. Here comes the 96, while Thomas Rogers stays out, as does Nicole Lechty. So they get the stretch of legs for a lap, while the undercut belongs to Ishibashi and to Kovalkiewicz. Thomas Rogers, new race leader. First lap led of the day. Ishibashi led the first 22. But here we go. Again, this is critical for them. They've got the advantage right now over the championship leader, Kenosha, to keep gaining ground in the World Championship fight. The races get harder as we go through here. Rogers in. Lechty stays out. Lechty will take a bonus point for leading a lap here. Maximizing the time spent out on track and on lower fuel. I see Lechty believes that the overcut is what's going to be effective. These tires take time to get up the temperature. I see a warmer day, midsummer in Toronto. But Lechty believing she is in the right position here. We'll see how correct she is. About a 40-second pit lane time is what we're seeing here from Ishibashi and from Kovalevich. So we'll see what happens here as Lechty comes in now with the lap lead in pocket. There's the 21 of Petrovic, who already came down pit lane. There is Kinoshita coming out of pit lane. As you look and peruse here throughout the field, there's Michelin, there's Kobayashi, that is Artyom Kozlov, and then there is Sakura Ishibashi, the pole sitter. Going to easily retake the race lead here. There's Keisha Fox, who is officially a lap down. Kovalevich stays in a very firm second position. Meanwhile, Lechty stays firmly in the third spot. Rogers with a slower pit stop. So Lechty now firmly in third, ahead of Velisevich, who's had a faster pit stop than her teammate Porter. And Porter's out ahead of Rogers, who had a very abysmal pit stop, and now under threat from Leroux. A little bit of damage on the 88 of Lucero. And then the 18 of Kinoshita, another slow pit stop there for the championship leader. Not what you want to see if you're Kinoshita. Gonna be frustrating. There's Von Sonnen still running, as well as Hofzen. There's Riley, there's Michelin, there's Kobayashi. Kozlov, the last car on the lead lap, in 16th at the moment. And then the 17 of Ishibashi out in front and leading by about 7 seconds. There is the 96 of Kovalevich, who got her first oval win at Chicagoland this season. Kovalevich's story is one of intrigue and mystery. Now she's come back so strong from injury that nearly ended her career. Kovalevich in 2020 at the Lausitz Ring suffered a dramatic crash that put her on the shelf for the better part of 3 years. She came back and has been strong, knocking off that rust, getting her an oval win for the first time, but being competitive all year long. Kovalevich re-aggravated that injury in the offseason, was involved in a civilian crash in the offseason and had to miss the opening rounds. Siri Lundqvist came in and deputized. So Kovalevich came in at Mexico. Missed the opening rounds at Phillip Island and in Motegi. 2 races behind, but in that top 10 conversation. After that win at Chicagoland, Kovalevich said that she was ahead of schedule where she wanted to be on her return. She's come in back as a team leader for that team as it prepares its expansion. She's going to have a rookie teammate next year with Julia Taccani. As she approaches her teammate for this season, Keisha Fox. Keisha just trying to get through this race as best she can and look forward to tomorrow. Very frustrated with how today's gone, but tomorrow is a new day for the 62 car. There is Ishibashi. You want to talk about cathartic. Taking on the car that she was kicked out of by Team Impulse to put Kozlov in it. Team Impulse hedged his bets with the Russian driver. It was immediately paid off there with the win, while Ishibashi was injured following a crash at Indianapolis on the road course. Kozlov came in and immediately grabbed a race win at Fontana. That was a couple years ago. That was in 2021. Kozlov had outgrown the Atlantic Championship. And Ishibashi had the highest retainer for that team. So the team parted ways with Ishibashi and put in Kozlov. Kozlov, who has done an outstanding job so far in the points, still ahead of Ishibashi going into this race. It's probably not going to be that way now. But Kozlov, obviously the Indianapolis 500 champion, is there's trouble. That is Rex Riley. Rex Riley in trouble. Trying to get up to speed again. Let's see what happened to the 72 machine on this lap, battling with, that is Hobson and Michelin. This is a group that was battling just outside the top 10. Let's see what happens here. Riley going for an inside pass here. Oh, big time trouble there with Jackson as well, but they keep going. Just a way too overambitious of a move there by Rex Riley. Who is now in pit lane. But a big time attempt there at a pass that just did not pay off. So Michelin gets away with that one. And it wasn't Cameron Jackson, my mistake. I believe that it was a 28 of Hobson, who is now still wounded as a result of that. Yeah, there's Cameron Jackson all the way up there in the Napa Auto Parts number 19. See Browse and peruse. Kenosha's gotten ahead of the San Marinian. Machero, the San Marinese driver. Still in the top 10 at the moment, in ninth, ahead of Petrovic. Is Wyatt Jones sitting right now in the 17th position, getting ready to gain another spot there. There's Rex Riley still in pit lane, getting repairs done. Very interesting how this race has evolved here in just 33 laps. There's Porter. Porter in the 5th position ahead of Rogers, but behind her teammate, her rookie teammate there in Velicevic. Velicevic, a race winner this season, as is the 3rd Atomic Autosport driver, Maria D'Amata. Both of them have race wins. D'Amata won at Texas. Velicevic won at Homestead. Porter still looking for a race win of her own. 3rd place, there is Nicole Lechty, looking to really make an impact here in the World Championship fight. As things stand right now, that gap right now with 3rd place in Lechty's hand would be enough to almost guarantee a swap in 2nd position in the points. I think Rogers holds on to it by 4 points right now. Looking at the live points timing. Ishibashi looking to really leapfrog the rookie battle here, at least leapfrog Kozlov in the top 5. Velicevic would also leapfrog Kozlov by a healthy amount and stay in 4th place in points. But a really big move for Ishibashi if she can hold on to this race lead. She's got it right now, but that gap has shrunk from 7 seconds down to 3. Whoa! Kovalkiewicz getting impatient there with Esther Hofson. And probably rightfully so. Has been gaining time on Ishibashi, and now a significant break holding up the Polish driver. Hobson just trying to make it to the next pit stop here, which is expected to be about lap 47. And Kovalevich will send it to the inside there of the 28. And Hobson just does not have the speed in that car now to hold off. Kovalevich lost an entire second dealing with Hobson. It was 3.9, now it's 4.9. Lefty even further back, 7.4 from the race leader. Rex Riley's race is officially done. 20th place. Excuse me, 19th place is where he'll be scored. Kamaya out of this race as well. And 20th, Riley in 19th. 18 cars remain in this field. It's been a very attrition-based affair here on Saturday. Another car in pit lane, I believe. If I'm looking at that correctly, I believe that was Wyatt Jones in pit lane. See if you can go back and look. No, yeah, that is Wyatt Jones in pit lane. In pit lane still. Meanwhile, Kenosha, I believe, has lost another position here, if I'm not mistaken. That is Lucero, who's gotten back around. Kenosha. So that's a big fight right now going on. That is for the 8th position. That is Lucero in the 88, that Motorola machine. Ahead of Lucero, ahead of Kenosha at the moment. As they continue to fight it out. Kenosha looking once again at the rookie driver. Wyatt Jones still in pit lane, so more repair being done on that 25 car, who's got nothing to lose at this point, sitting firmly in the 18th position. So the race continues on. Justin Pullen truly on his own at this point in the 11th spot. There's Petrovic in the top 10. Battling this group. Kenosha losing some time now to not Leroux, that's Lucero. And now about to lose a spot potentially to Petrovic. Not very often you can get to say that you're getting ready to take on a battle with the championship leader, but that's where you're at right now for Petrovic. And for Lucero, pulling away from the championship leader. There is the 77 of Leroux. Then there's the 2 of Rogers and the 81 of Porter. '13 of Vulisevich just ahead there in the 4th position. 3rd place belongs firmly to Nicole Lechty by 7 seconds. Kovalevich closing the gap back in as Lechty held up there by Keisha Fox. Again, this is the look right now of a driver in the 2nd position. Still trying to fight for a chance to win this race in Toronto. Coming to complete lap 40. Still some lap traffic in the way. I believe that is Artyom Kozlov in front of Kovalevich. It is Kozlov. Wyatt Jones's day is over. They have called it quits on the 25 car. He'll be classified with an 18th place finish, so attrition becoming the way of the land in exhibition place. Kovalkiewicz has pulled the gap down to 3.4 seconds. She is on it right now, and that's why Ishibashi struggling with lap traffic. That is Kobayashi in front, the 42 car. For Vontair Racing. Vontair Racing, both their cars still in it. Kobayashi 14th, Petrovic in 10th. And Ishibashi can feel the pressure intensifying from the Polish driver, who is on it. 39 laps led by Ishibashi of the 41 laps completed. Pit stop cycles gave Lecty and Rogers a lap lead and the bonus point that goes with it. As Ishibashi gets around Kobayashi at the tightest part of the racetrack. Very easy for that to go wrong, but for now Ishibashi has two cars between herself and Kovalkiewicz. Lecty a very distant third. Velisevich closing in on that battle, as is Porter. So that could become a three-way fight for third, depending on how pit stops come here in the next 4 to 7 laps. And look, there's even more traffic. That is Von Sonen just ahead. That is 13th place Von Sonen. Keeping that car calm, cool, and collected. But here comes the race leader. Trying to put the 76 a lap down. I believe Von Sonen is going to peel in a pit lane. So here we go. Pit stops about to begin for the race leaders. Kovalkiewicz now has to try to find a way around Kozlov and Kobayashi. Breaking into turn 4. Kovalkiewicz having to sit and wait behind the lap traffic. There's only a couple really good opportunities to make passes happen. Ishibashi really brave through this sector to get around Kobayashi before. Kovalkiewicz knowing not to throw the car away like this. Take the results you can get, and don't show desperation. Kovalkiewicz getting a really good run there on Kozlov, but not enough to make a pass there into turn 1. Maybe going into turn 3. Not these 3, still staying right behind the gearbox of that 3 car. Still not making a pass there. Keeping it still pretty steady. And there's Thomas Rogers, who's already made a second pit stop, decided to undercut the race leader. Second stop of the race for Rogers. He will stay on the lead lap here. Obviously, with Ishibashi needing to make a pit stop here, and I believe that is a pit stop for Ishibashi incoming it is. And Kovalkiewicz stays out, so Kovalkiewicz will take a lead lap here. New race leader for at least a lap. The 96 of Alicia Kovalkiewicz. .40 laps to go in this race. Kovacevic leading the way. Obviously, pit stops now firmly underway. Is this a pit stop coming in for Kovacevic? No, Kovacevic stays on another lap. Kovacevic is deciding to just make the most of the race lead. Hold on to it as long as possible. As battle rages on, we'll look a little further back. There is Lecty, who's also stayed on track here, as well as, I believe, Evangeline Porter further back. Yeah, there is Porter in third at the moment. Neither of those three have made a pit stop. Here it goes. Kovacevic in now, and Lecty stays out. So Lecty will take another lead lap here. Back to the front of the field for the 78. There is Leroux, Lecty's teammate there for Red Bull Highlight Racing. There's the 28 of Mr. Hofson, 3 laps down at the moment as pit stops cycle through. Hofson has made her second pit stop. There's Porter, who stays out as well. Then there's Matthias Michelin, who has also made, I think it was the second pit stop. Yeah, he's made a second pit stop as well. The only drivers that have not made a pit stop yet: Lecty, Porter, Lucero, Kinoshita, and that's about it. And Leroux stayed out again. There's Leroux going past pit lane, and Porter comes in. Ooh, very interesting. There's Lucero, there's Kinoshita battling for position. And then there is the race leader once pit stop cycled through. That is Ishibashi, who had to check up a little bit. And there is Kovacevic. Still behind Kozlov at the moment. Kobayashi had an even better pit stop. There is Von Sonen, and then there is Ishibashi, set to re-inherit the race lead here. There is Lecty in pit lane now for service. I believe that is that is Kinoshita in pit lane right now. The 18 car in pit lane. And that is a prolonged stop for Kinoshita, who is in trouble still. Oh, almost a really bad incident there on the exit of pit lane. That is Kinoshita struggling to put the tires down. Rare mistake there by Kinoshita. But back out on track here after a slight spin on the pit exit. I see a frustrating day there for Kinoshita. And Kinoshita now a lap down to her stepsister and the race leader, Sakura Ishibashi. And that is 4 cars between the race leader and second place. See this cluster of cars battling for position. And they're all battling for position now. This is all battling for 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th place. So this is all legitimately a battle for position that Kenosha's inadvertently put herself in. Obviously, they had to go through and have some repairs done on that car, which threw her away from that battle with Lucero. But it's held up Kovalevich, who now has 4 cars battling for position. So there's not going to be any blue flags shown to those 4 cars. So Ishibashi leads the way. Michelin, the next driver up to go a lap down in 11th place. Sitting in the 11th spot. 10th place belongs to Cameron Jackson at the moment. Marcus Petrovich in the 9th spot, battling with Lucero for 8th. Then you have Simone Leroux in the 7th position, as you see again this battle for the 8th spot between Lucero, the 88, and 21 of Petrovich, the Serbian driver versus the San Marinese driver. Car in pit lane, that is Kozlov in pit lane, as is Kenosha. Oh, they were battling for position here. Oh, let's go back and look at this. So there may be something to this one. The 18 and the 3. Is this entering turn 4 again? Oh, this very well could be, and it's also, oh, huge impact there, and I believe that comes off of Kozlov. Let's look at that one more time. That's Kozlov making his send into turn 4. Yeah, Kozlov makes a giant send here. Kobayashi holding up Kenosha. Kozlov sends it and does not make the corner at all. And that's right in front of Kovalevich. That is Kenosha's day done. So Kenosha falls further down the table here. And Kozlov will as well. Huge turn of events there. That almost changed the battle for second place. Von Sonnen in pit lane as well. And finally, a pass was made by Kovalevich on the 42 of Kobayashi, but not before Lechty made her way through for second. So second place, this battle heating up here. Obviously, Kovacevic thrown off there by that crash between Kenosha and Kozlov. With less than 30 laps to go, here comes this battle. Keisha Fox trying to hold up the 81. Not the 81, that's the 78. It's Lechty. Trying to help her teammate out here in this battle for the second spot. Lechty does go through. And now it's backfired because now Keisha Fox is in the way of her teammate. Kozlov is out. Kenosha confirmed out of this race, as is Von Sonen, who picked up debris and lost his brakes as a result of that. Brake overheating and brake failure for the 76 of Von Sonen. Ends his Saturday. And now Kovacevic struggling with their teammate. For Keisha Fox. A lap down, trying to stay ahead of Kobayashi as well. That's something that's got to be considered as well at this moment. Still firmly in the podium positions. But there's Rogers just behind Kobayashi as well. So this could still slip away with one last pit stop. Again, race leader, Sakura Ishibashi. Now dealing with Esther Hobson again. Hobson trying to stay 2 laps down, trying to avoid going a 3rd lap down here, but Ishibashi's been near unstoppable in this race so far. 54 laps led out of 60. As racing continues here in Toronto. 25 laps to go. Ishibashi got around Esterhofsen there. Throwing another car out of the way. Michelin up next, though. Michelin trying to stay on lead lap. Michelin in 11th position. Nicole, like to center your screen, sitting in second place pretty firmly, now ahead of Kovalkiewicz, who's still struggling to get around her teammate. Interesting to see how that's turned around. Kovalkiewicz sitting in the third position, slowly losing time. There is Velicevic and Porter. That's fourth and fifth right there. Rogers has lost time to both of them. Keep an eye on this battle here with one pit stop left to go in this race. Very critical to get it right. See third, fourth, and fifth on your screen. Ishibashi's already come down pit lane for that final stop. So the pit window is open. Again, very important to get this right. Kovalkiewicz seemed to have done so on that last round of pit stops, but got to do it again here. Keisha Fox coming in this time. Lead lap cars stay out there. And now Kovalkiewicz has a chance to sort of use some breathing room here to make it happen. Kovalevich, Vilisevic, and Porter realistically battling for third place. Lechty almost seems assuredly at second place at this point. Porter came down pit lane that time. Out comes, there's Lucero, there's Jackson, there is Petrovic. Rogers in pit lane as well as Porter. There's Sakura Ishibashi, the pole sitter with the most laps led in this race. Battle in pit lane, Porter rolling out of pit lane already. Porter coming out of pit lane. There's Keisha Fox ahead of Porter. Interestingly enough, there is Rogers in this number 2 machine. Lechty in pit lane. Kovalevich stays out. Kovalevich back to the race lead. Kovalevich back to the race lead. There is Kobayashi there. Everyone's spaced out right now. We'll see how these pit stops cycle out here for the last 15 laps. Kovalevich stays out again. I believe Leroux just came down pit lane. Yep, there's Leroux coming down pit lane now. There's Ishibashi. There's Kovalevich in pit lane. Final pit stop's underway. And there is Sakura Ishibashi, who will retake the race lead here. Michelin trying to stay on lead lap there. You see the 60 car just ahead. That Claro, number 60. So far, a decent race there for Michelin. Michelin sitting in the 11th position. 3 seconds shy of Petrovic, who stays in the top 10. There's Lechty in the 78. Looking a little bit further back, there is Keisha Fox. There's already lap down. Importantly, Rogers back ahead of Porter. Kovalevich now out of the top 3, sitting in 5th. That's very critical. Porter looking at a potential podium. If she can get around Rogers again, like what she did last time. She's had the pace to do so, but time running out in this battle for the last step on the podium. Cars in pit lane. Hold on, is that is Hobson, and I believe that is Velicevic. It is Velicevic on pit lane. And there's Hobson. What has happened to Esther Hobson here? We'll go back and take a look at this replay. This is going to be very interesting. I don't think Velicevic and Hobson had anything to do with this together. Hobson already a wounded car. Not sure what's happened there to Hobson in this instance to really draw this. Oh, is it going to be Leroux? Oh, it really 100% is Leroux. That has ended Hobson's day. But a second pit stop being made by Velicevic. Also getting around Hobson here. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. So Hobson taken out by Leroux. And that was Leroux in the 6th position. Had a really good run of form going. What happens here? This is just ahead of Porter. And this may explain, that explains why Porter dropped the spot to Rogers. Velicevic back out on track though. Hobson's race is over. And Porter now trying to make up time once again on Rogers. Has done so. Rogers not at 100% either. So it's now 100% is a duel for the 3rd spot. With Kovalevich, the best of the bunch, in 5th. Trying to close in on this battle. There's Keisha Fox in the 62, the other Cherokee GP car still running in this race. There were 3 of them that started. Siri Lundquist in the 69 car out early in that lap 1 incident. Turn four has been a very bad corner for incidents today. Porter being closed in on by Kovalevich. 9 laps to go. We're down to 13 cars in this race. It's been a very violent race. Kobayashi out. Kobayashi still in this race, still 1 lap down. Hobson out, Von Sonnen out. Kinoshita, Kozlov, Jones all out of this race. Leroux and Velicevic still running. Obviously not where they were. Velicevic now in 12th, 1 lap down. Leroux still in 6th, interestingly enough. Oh, here we go. Battle for the 3rd spot, raging on. Porter now under fire from Kovalevich. Trying to make a really badly timed pass there on Rogers. Rogers checked up massively by Keisha Fox. Porter tried taking advantage at the first opportunity instead of being patient and waiting for it. Very interesting how that turned about, especially with time beginning to run low. Maybe knowing that turn 4 is not a good place to try to make a pass happen. So I'm not sure why you wouldn't try to make that pass, on the exit of turns 1 and 2. These four once again close together. Keisha Fox not in this fight. Sitting right now in the 11th position. The first car off the lead lap. Seven laps to go. Ishibashi leads by 14.6 seconds over Nicole Letty. Both of them seem very comfortable in their positions, first and second here in race 1 in Toronto. Persisting on here. Battle for third on your screen between Rogers in the 2, Porter in the 81, Kovacevic in the 96. Rogers going to try to make a pass here to get around Keisha Fox. Slows up massively. Had to check up there in turn 1. Oh, here comes a really good move. Here comes a chance, an opportunity for Evangeline Porter going for third. Side by side to turn 4. Late on the brakes. Rogers holds on. They all stay going through it. But a really good opportunity there by Porter. Kept it straight. Lost a lot of grip there on the inside, though. And it allows Rogers to hold on to third. But the move was on. Late on the brakes through turn 4 that time. Does Porter try it again? Kovacevic lost a lot of time there. Got really tight in the traffic. The dirty air holding up the 96 car just enough to allow Porter to have a breath of fresh air behind. And right now it's all about what's in front of Porter. Battling for the third spot. Through 3 now. And now down towards turn 4. Another really solid run. Another solid opportunity. Late on the brakes once again through 4. Second time's the charm. Does it work? It might. It just might work for third. Porter going after her for Rogers. Longtime rivals. Porter takes third away. Can Kovacevic get fourth? Side by side. Good opportunity for Kovacevic to sweep in and take another spot from Rogers, who's fallen off here in the latter stages. Good chance here. Kovacevic makes it work. Kovacevic the fourth. Rogers nutmegged for third and fourth, down to fifth. Time running out. 4 laps to go. Now it's Kovacevic trying to chase down Porter. Keisha Fox doing everything she can to help her teammate out to get to the podium. How patient will Porter be? Now having to be firmly on the defensive. Whoa, a little bit of wobbling on the brakes. Here comes Rogers. Once again, trying to fire back for fourth. The fighting continues on. Kovacevic right to the gearbox of the 81. Through 3. Porter spaces out just enough there to stay away from that late move that Kovacevic could have faded into. Nose to tail. 3rd, 4th, and 5th on your screen. 3 laps to go. 2 to go. Kovalkiewicz again trying to chase down Evangeline Porter. The last step on the podium. This is the closest battle on track. All for a piece of hardware in Toronto. Keisha Fox in that 62 holding up Porter. Trying to help her teammate out in the 96. Here comes Rogers in the 2, side by side. Rogers couldn't commit to it all the way though. Kovalkiewicz holds on. But Rogers trying to make some very interesting passes happen. Remember, he lost 2 spots in one go in 1 lap to both Porter and Kovalkiewicz. He wants to get one of those spots back. A really good opportunity to really gain on the points leader. Kenosha out of this race and in 16th classified. The gap between Rogers and Kenosha entering this race was 50 points. That'll be a lot smaller now, but every point counts. And Rogers knows it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Again, this is the battle for 3rd. At the front of the field, Sakura Ishibashi wins race 1 in Toronto. 2nd place will belong to Nicole Lecty. 3rd place, with a handful of corners to go. Slugfest for 3rd. Evangeline Porter and Atomic Autosport will take that 3rd spot. The last up on the podium belongs to Car 81. Alicia Kovalkiewicz put in a really good battle, but will stay 4th. And Thomas Rogers, a top 5 finish for the 2 car to gain points on the championship leader, CUNY Kenosha. 6th place, staying 6th, is Simona LaRoe with damage on the 77 machine. A good day for Red Bull Highlight Racing. Kage Kobayashi finishes in 12th, a lap down. Cameron Jackson in 7th, a good run of form for him. Same for Bianca Lucero, 8th place for her. Marcus Petrovich, a top 10 finish assured, as well as for Matthias Michelin, 10th place for the Brazilian driver for Stryker Motorsports. But it's Sakura Ishibashi finally a race win in 2023 on the streets of Toronto. From pole position, 74 laps led out of 85. It is Sakura Ishibashi over Nicole Lecty and Evangeline Porter with another race, the last race in Toronto tomorrow. Alicia Kovalkiewicz in 4th, Thomas Rogers the top 5. Then it's Simona LaRoe, Cameron Jackson, Bianca Lucero, Marcus Petrovich, Matthias Michelin, Keisha Fox 11th, Kage Kobayashi in 12th, Natalia Velishevich, the last car running, in 13th position. Then a lot of DNS, Esther Hofson and Estasis von Son in the top half. Then the championship leader, CUNY Kenosha, out of this race with Artyom Kozlov there, 34 laps from the finish. Wyatt Jones in 18th, 19th Rex Riley, 20th Shinichi Kamaya. The bottom 10, BK Glover, Elise Alexander, Mia Valdez, Astrid Crane, Natalia Kurachenko, Mia Vitsut, Cyril Lundquist, Asada Kito, Andrew Draco, and Kira Moore. That'll do it from us here in Toronto, here on Saturday. 1 race to go tomorrow, the last race in Toronto on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Here on ABN Sports, you're not going to want to miss it. A very frantic race, but it's a victorious endeavor for Sakura Ishibashi. Finally, a race win in Cat Devil Racing colors. On behalf of everyone here for ABN Sports, ABN Studios, and everyone for the AT&T Champ Car World Series season, this has been the IndyCar World Championship from the streets of Toronto. We'll see you tomorrow, right back here in Toronto, Canada. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night. So long, everybody.